All right, so in the position of you in your current environment, this is a really good card. It's the Wheel of Fortune.
Wheel of Fortune, I love the Wheel of Fortune.
Basically about moving forward. When it's upside down, it's sort of moving backwards, but it's the right way for moving in a positive direction, getting things done right.
Yeah, and it's like almost like you can't always control it, right? It's
like, oh no, it's like external, destiny type things. Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's the first one.
And then you're crossed by the Ace of Cups, which is like a very emotional card. Being an emotional person is both a blessing and a curse. On one hand, it probably makes you super creative.
Yeah.
But then you might feel exposed a little, like, you know, putting it out there and like whatever. Since it's crossed by that, it's like you want to really watch who you tell your like deepest secrets and things like that too. Yeah. Because I can tell you as a record executive that there's a lot of sharks out there, you know? So you want to be keep things close to the vest and chest, I guess it is, not vest. Yeah. But and don't let all your cards out on the table. You're dealing with, because, you know, I see this coming up the pipe too, which is like the Emperor and like the executive card. So I think it's kind of tied in. So
like, for example, if I am, let's say, talking to that publicist, right? Yeah. Maybe I'm just only, like, it's a very limited scope conversation. We're talking about the one song and the one story that we want to focus on. Like, I'm not telling him about everything that I'm planning up and down the line. Is that a good example?
You know, I mean, a publicist is someone you hire, so hopefully they have your hired good in so they have to know enough about you to be able to promote you carefully, you know. And also maybe like you control your own social media and that type of stuff. Like I have a guy, like he does Hans Zimmer, you know who that is. He's like very famous writer. He goes out on the road with Hans Zimmer and he like, you know, does all his posts, does all the wording, all that. I think that fans want to like really connect with the artist, so it's important that things that you do are like in your voice, you know? Yes. I mean, he's very good at that because he's been doing this forever, you know? And I trust him implicitly, but, you know, I'm just saying there's like some people that don't give a fuck. They just want your money. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
where do you exercise that discernment of not putting all your cards on the table? Like what type of relationship?
I'm thinking mostly about record industry, corporate people, and agents and things like that.
I love it. What else is in the cards? I'm going to take some notes.
Okay.
Got my little tape on here.
Well, you could probably tape it on your iPhone too. Do you have that?
Oh no, I'm just like, I have the cards going, but I just want to take notes on what resonates. Okay, you know? Because that's how I always train on tarot. It's take what resonates.
Yeah, you know, it's like I have a psychic named Vox who I'm gonna say is like right like 98% of the time. Okay. You know, and she's like an astrologer too. Yeah. You take what you like and you leave the rest.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm 100% right. Of course, I'm just like I'll read this and then, you know, I will forget about it. Like, I won't remember.
And we co-created this because I shuffled them.
Yes, exactly. In the placement of something that's like already happened, there is a King of Cups. It's usually a water sign.
Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio.
Yeah, it's right side up, so it's whatever advice he has given you, it was good advice. You can trust that person, and also an emotional person because it's cups.
This can represent
It's older because it's a king. It's a king, so it's someone Pisces, older than you.
Yeah, I have received that.
Okay, all right.
That has been received.
So you know who that was.
Yes,
all right.
Ma'am.
So this is in the past. It's a card of merriment, but when it's upside down, it's like taking things to the excess. It's usually something about drugs and alcohol and overdue and things like that.
Which card is it?
In the past.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah. I had some issues with drugs and alcohol and overindulgence of food. Like, yeah, I've totally been there. Yeah.
In the past.
Let's
leave it there.
Let's leave it in the past. Yes, ma'am.
Just a reminder of that, and it may be also with cards, things that are in alignment, like this way and that way. Sometimes they correlate with the other cards to tell a story, and I'm going to say that this is also related to emotions. An emotional woman too. That's interesting.
This is the Celtic cross, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Maybe you spend a lot of time alone because this is like the hermit over here. But so anyway, that's in the past. Just be aware of it, because I'm sure there's going to be situations in the future where people will like try and hand you drugs and alcohol. I've been a manager a long time, so I've seen this, and it's like I try and keep the unsavvy people away from the band, but can't always do that because there's unsavvies everywhere. Just be aware of it for yourself. And just know that if you get into it, it's not going to end well. In the land of fentanyl, it takes nothing to kill people, and they cut coke and all kinds of stuff with fentanyl. So I'm so glad I didn't grow up in this time period. In the near future, it's another sort of emotional card, but it's about walking away from something, a toxic relationship or drugs and alcohol or something emotional to you. Only you know what this is. I don't know what it is. He's got his back to it. He's walking away, and that's the right thing to do. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've studied the tarot so much. I have all these definitions that I've put together myself. Wow. So yeah, that's cool. I like the imagery of that card.
Feeling alone and abandonment. Huh?
Yeah,
I don't usually get that so much. It's usually it's a personal thing. Yeah. Not that you're alone. It's you want to move away from it. Nobody's making him do this. He's doing it to himself. He wants to walk away. Then an influence in the future is a water sign woman, queen, so probably older, mom, a sister. Mm-hmm. But an influence in your dynamic, and also everything is sort of question related too. So so someone that could be influencing you about what you're asking about. Yep. And it's positive because it's right side up, so whatever they're telling you is true, and maybe not what you want to hear, but except the harsh realities. Yeah, interesting. This is in the house of your fears, and this is a really great card about love and family and home and 10 of Cups. That's a great card. Yeah, it's maybe happy home scares you a little bit. I'm not sure if there's not drama and pain and heartbreak. You don't trust it. I don't trust it. Oh, really? I'm kind of like that too. That's really sad for both of us, but Yeah. In a way. Yeah. It's only your fears. It's not real. You're just thinking about it in those terms, but maybe you need to reassess. Happy home could be a good thing, Yeah. I'm concerned about this. The 5 of coins. Yeah, it's on the 10th position. That's like destitution. It might be about spending and a warning more than anything else. Gotcha. We're not there yet. Okay, so. okay. I just noticed that in that position. It kind of alarms me. It's not the preferred final outcome card, but I've learned to accept all the cards. I think it's maybe a warning. That's how I'm choosing to take it. Yeah. Because everything else is quite positive, you know. Yeah. In your family travel, you tend to be a loner and on your own and not have attachments and things. Yeah. Is that true? During travel? Well, or it's family travel in this position, so it's Hermit's about being on his own and alone and introspective, I guess. Yeah. And also it's in line with these cards, so. I've definitely had a lot of alone time, just kind of getting, because I'm doing a lot of writing on the album, a lot of recording of the vocals, just staying very focused on the plan that we're talking about. So I have been alone quite often, but I've been working with my guy 5 days a week and trying to get out of the house and
go to the right things, right? like connect with the right people, make the right friends. Right. So it's a little bit of a tightrope walk for me in that sense. But my other understanding of like the hermit card is like sometimes it's about like taking like guidance and mentorship.
Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah. But it's in the placement of travel and family. So
okay. Yeah, maybe I need to open up more.
Maybe open up more.
Gotcha.
It's a very emotional run you've got going here, so
yeah,
there's something going on emotionally that you need to look at and maybe open up a little bit. In the house of your loves, it's like the Emperor. This is a very corporate card. This is exactly what I was kind of talking about. Corporate heads, agents, lawyers, whatever, people that can make a difference in your career. These are the people that you don't want to tell everything. They do have a hand in it, and it's right side up, so it should like be to your benefit.
Okay.
Yeah. But just be aware that it's in the house of your love, so you're like wanting that. You want, the record deal and all that stuff. I've been in the music business so long, I want to run my own ship.
Yeah.
It's like I worked under David Geffen. I worked at Capitol Records. It's like I took all the stuff that I know and I put it into my own business. Like I have a record company through Sony and that kind of stuff. It says you want this, just be careful, because they always sway the deals to their personal good,
Let me ask two questions in regards to that, like in the context of this reading is like, so I have a lawyer, right, that works on my behalf. He's just kind of like retaining, I'm retaining him. Like I have a block of hours with him. And so my thought process is when something comes up that he can handle, that I'll engage him at that point in time when it's the right time. But then
he's an entertainment lawyer? Or?
Yeah. Okay. I will come back to my question, which is like, how do I get a publisher, even if it's not a record label? That's really my question, is how do I get a publisher or a distributor who will pitch some of my stuff? Is the question. I guess in terms of introductions, like what I'm really trying to figure out is where's the best place to find somebody who can pitch my music in terms of like joint. So for example, if you're pitching my music, it's like you get a percentage too, so you have a vested interest if something hits. Like where is the best, like I'm talking for sync licensing, for editorial placement.
You need like music supervisors and placement people.
So you can't just have one person like that does that.
Well, you can, but I wouldn't exclusively do that.
There's just a thing, one person,
my friend Barry Coughing runs a thing called musicsupervisor.com. You should join that and put all your stuff on that.
Musicsupervisor.com.
Yeah, he does a lot of film and TV projects.
Okay.
And it's just an online thing, and you just upload and I don't even know if he charges. I think it's free.
Yeah. Okay.
Or if it's a charge, it's very minimal.
Yeah.
There's a few sites like that. I would do Submit Hub because that's like influencer based, so they might use your track selling whatever wares they've got, and then you get streams. Industry people of this sort only really care about beans and money and numbers. Right. So the more followers, the more streams that you have, the better off you are.
Yeah.
And like with my record label, it's like my job to like help my acts get more streams and followers and all that. Like Mother Wind, who I'm going to Wisconsin with to be with, they're playing Rock Rally next week, and they've gone from 4,000 followers to like 19,000 followers in 2 months. They're like really starting to hit it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I love to see new artists breaking through. I love to see other success. Yeah,
I mean, it's time for new acts. It's like there hasn't really been like a new scene since like hip hop,
Yeah. So, well, we're gonna remember this conversation because I will manifest this breakthrough moment, and we will remember back to this reading, and we go be like, this is where it all started.
Yeah. And the final outcome of this is concerning because it's about really like feeling out in the cold and broke and you know, all those things that I hate, you know, emotionally, financially, all that. But it could be a warning. If you're asking about publisher, I would say you really need to check out whoever you're going to hire to, like, you know, and don't, like, give them all your money. I mean, this is, you know, sort of like a robbery sort of situation.
In the concept of my question, I'm actually not super concerned with the card in the context of, like, what I was praying over the cards on. Yeah.
Come on, you guys. Stinker should, like, try and get out.
Oh, thank God I shut it.
Go.
Yeah.
Go. Follow the boy. So I just pulled 3 cards, like, asking about the situation. Like, this card's about not being able to sleep and having, like,
swords.
Like what I call hamster wheeling type stuff, but it doesn't stand the light of day, so a lot of your fears are unfounded.
Yeah.
And then you have this, which is, you know, a money card, you know, but it was upside down. You know, I think this is about really watching what you're doing so that you don't get robbed. You know, I think this is a warning. I think this is the same sort of thing, you know?
Yeah.
And then this is about, I'm going to take this as you. What's your sun sign?
Capricorn.
It's swords, so I don't know if that works for Capricorn or not.
But my moon sign is Gemini, so that's swords. That's air sign. Right.
Well, this is kind of about, like, trusting yourself, this card, so I think that's probably real. Like, I see that the resources are there for you, like either, you know, family money or something, but I think you have to be careful.
Yeah.
That's what this is about, you know?
Yeah,
and also this, I mean, can I see this book?
Which one?
Yeah.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, here you go.
I want to see what it means upside down because I'm not exactly sure. Old age, slothfulness, dullness, robbery. That's what I was thinking. Loss, insecurity, uncertainty, conflict of loyalty. So, you know, you really want to, like, because you got, you know, the, where did that card go? The Emperor. Oh, here it is. You really need to, like, trust these people that you are, and this is a man too because it's Emperor, you know, but
trust who I'm doing, like, really trust and
I mean, you know, if you, like, if your intuition's telling you you're not sure, don't do it.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I would say, you know.
I just plan to come across others just, like, on the journey and really, like you said, trusting my intuition. I think that I am very smart with resources as long as I keep a watchful eye on it and I understand the contracts and what I'm getting into. Like, I feel very confident in my money management skills. And just what I was kind of praying over, I'm not super concerned with that. But yeah, the way I think about it too is, like, nobody gives a fuck about anything until a song blows up. But as soon as the song blows up,
money changes everything.
That's when the people want to sue you, etc., etc. Is there a time that's right in your eyes, or is it as soon as you get sued? Like,
oh no, you don't want to get to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you know, you need a lawyer when there's possibly, you know, a placement or whatever. You want somebody looking out for your interest, you know?
So if I were to, say, get a placement through one of the sites that we're talking about, like a Music X-Ray, Music Submit, your friend's music supervisor, like stuff like that, that would be something where
if they've, like, got something for you, then you want to have somebody read it, the contract or whatever. I mean, I think most of the sites are key element in these sites that are doing placements.
Yeah.
The word that you want to see is non-exclusive. You don't want to, like, give your music to anyone, like, just to exclusively do it, unless it's like some major player who has lots of like placements,
who can pay a lot for
it.
Yeah.
Then okay, sure, exclusive, and usually
it's like this Hollywood movie wants to buy it exclusively.
It's like it's a time period. Like I just optioned my book for film and TV, and they're moving forward with it. It took them like 6 months to get to the point to hire a TV writer, and I'm like, if they want your song, they should be paying you for the right to have that exclusively. Otherwise, it should be non-exclusive. Yeah. And then if you like do a placement with like Netflix or Hulu or whoever, it's a time period, it's like exclusive for a year or two, and then you can replace it. You don't want to do anything for life of the project, because then that's it. That's all you can do with that song,
Yeah. Exclusive in that context, like, so for a song, and like say it was exclusive to Netflix, that would mean they're the only ones that are allowed to put it in the movie, right?
Yeah.
In the movie, but that's the
but you want it to be just for that one thing.
Right.
Like I've done a lot of stuff with MTV. Well, you can do EPs. Here's another thing that I've learned in the 5 years that I've done this label. You put them out individually, and then you re-release it as an EP, and all the streams you got on those individual things show up on day one. So like, if you had 50,000 streams on the track that you sent me, and you put that on with 3 other tracks, then you're starting with those 50,000 and adding to it.
Interesting. And then that helps the algorithms and stuff for the EP itself.
Absolutely.
That's a good strategy. Okay, so it's like Suburban Shadow, None of Your Business, Death Magician, and then we could call it the Suburban Shadow EP.
But like I did this band Trick the Riddle from New York City, and they had like 20,000 streams on each track. So when we put out the 4-song thing, they started out with 60,000, and then they got the Spotify playlist and all that because of the algorithm.
Yeah. That's awesome. I guess really we already covered like pretty much most of what I wanted to, just organically without me even looking at the notes. But I guess the one last thing, especially since you've been around the industry, you know it now, is like if you had if you're working with a client or you're the artist yourself and you want to start backwards working towards a massive goal of charting a song. I have this song called Chart It, where I say I want to chart a song, and it's like declaring what you want and going after it, and it's like inspiring in a way. But it's like if you're actually trying to put that into fruition and manifest it, obviously there's a component of like streaming and sales and radio, right? But I'm just curious, if you were giving somebody advice on how to work backwards to get a song charted, what would you advise?
You want it's all got to be firing on all cylinders. You've got to have the PR, the marketing, the streaming.
Yeah.
You're going to have to play live.
Yeah.
Are you going to have a live band or?
That's a good question. I'm not really there yet until we're done making this music. I talked with Kyle, my producer, about possibly like we could hire a band for because basically he plays all the instruments and then records it right there, and then we put it into the song like electronically. So
if you're going to showcase, I think you should hire a band to do a showcase. If that's if you're going to play for publishers and all that, you probably want it. For me, it's like just looking at 1 or 2 guys on the stage is kind of boring. You kind of want the whole outfit,
Where do you think it would make sense? So say I get a really like awesome song, like maybe the best song for a performance for me, for my vocals, for the vibe of the song, and I want to hire a band to do it. Where would I hire that band to play?
I know this guy.
I
know this guy Barry Squire, and that's all he does is like fills players in bands. That's his day gig. You pay him a few $100s. You give him keywords of what you're looking for, and he spits out a list of all the musicians he knows that do that.
So if I could, like, say, working with my publicist or something, schedule like an interview or like something live on TV or something, then I could hire the band for that performance or something like that. Like make the biggest bang of the buck, right?
Yeah.
That's a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
And that can build some organic buzz too. Like if it can get on TV or on a stream that has a lot of followings.
And do you have like an idea in mind of what your vibe's going to be? Like I know stylists, I know all those kind of people.
Oh, I haven't really given that much thought to it.
Well, you should think about it. You want to like figure out your signature sound, look, everything, so that they know it's you.
Signature look, okay.
And sound. Like you want when people hear it on the radio to know that it's you. Like within a few beats.
Yeah. Can I show you just the beginnings of one more song?
Yeah.
I just really like what we did here with None of Your Business. This is one of the ones that I want to promote next. Find it if I can find it. There it is. So I just really like what we did, this effect on the very beginning. It's like and we have like a filter sweep coming in on there. But basically so I could send you more stuff as it builds momentum and stuff. But we're working on like signature types of sounds as we do this 37 song project, and we're gonna like kind of recycle some of the things that work really well, like in terms of vocal effects or like even an audio signature tab, like in the hip hop with Maybach music or like whatever, like something like some type of like unique audio signature tag that goes into all songs. So we're working through that, but I haven't even thought about my looks that much because that's something that I'm gonna want to be.
You want to like figure out a logo and a signature look and sound and
but I'm so glad, Vicky, that you shared that with me about the performing thing and hiring a band, and like that put it in a context to me where I can actually envision working with a publicist or whoever I'm working with on actually securing something live.
Yeah, I mean, like even Slash uses this guy, that's how he got his band. It's like he does a thing called hiring hall, and then he would come with you and you would like audition players, and they can learn everything you need in like a day. Like they're like session type players,
Well, and also, don't you think that it would be a good thing for me and my guy Kyle to be on stage together, because he's the one playing the instruments in the songs anyways.
Sure, I mean you're the two main people.
Yeah, and we could just hire someone
like Crystal Method or whatever, but they have other people, in the band.
Yeah, oh my God, that is such a beautiful idea. Alright, so now I'm gonna think about, as we do these songs, like what would be the best like performance song or two performance songs. There's also
then you want to like maybe like I work with this guy Grant Owen all the time. He has a thing called We Found New Music. Have you heard of that? Or at Hotel Ziggy? Have you been there? Or?
Hotel Ziggy?
Yeah.
No, I have not. It's a place, a hotel, an actual hotel?
Yeah, but it's like a showcase venue. Like, see, this is how you should follow him. It's like, his name's Grant Owen, but like, he did like Billie Eilish's and Lizzo and all these people's first shows.
Oh, he did their first shows.
Yeah. And, then he puts them out like this,
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's a really cool venue. They put like thousands of dollars into this place, and they like I just put this kid on there from Washington.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he's really good.
What do you think of like if you hire a live band but you want to do some level of like dancing as well, right? Like movement, like and get like moving a lot. Like, what do you think about some component of a backing track, even though you're doing live vocals as well?
Well, a lot of people do it, but it's a tightrope walk because to get it like balanced with like live music, got to have a really good sound man that can like work that out. Like when I booked Bar Sinister, like all the bands had tracks, and it never seemed to be quite right.
Yeah.
So you have to like make
you have
sure.
to work that out with the people. Yeah.
But at Hotel Ziggy, there's some people are really good.
Yeah.
And, a lot of bands do it, so it's not like it's unique.
Yeah.
So.
That's so cool. Oh my God. Well, I don't know. I don't know if there's anything else that publisher.
I think more than a publisher, you want song pluggers.
Song pluggers.
Yeah.
Where do I find
a publisher looks over your catalog and tries to place that way, you know. But ultimately, I think what you want is, you know, somebody that'll plug your songs to film and TV. All the publishers have that, but you know, publishers from my point of view are like banks. They just give you advances on your music, you know.
Yeah.
You need somebody that's going to place your song in film and TV.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad we had this consultation. You made my day.
Okay, good. I'm glad it was helpful.
And we got to interpret. We got to put the tarot cards into it. And I love your slutty dog. What is your name again?
Charlie.
Charlie. You're like, give it all up in 10 seconds. Oh my God, that's amazing.